Hello and welcome. My name is Surya Mira from Connect Yoga. Welcome back for another Flow Friday video. My goal here in this space is to provide you with accessible and practical yoga flows to incorporate into your daily life, no matter your age, your level, and to really provide convenience for you to do this in the comfort of your own home. Go ahead and take a moment to like, subscribe, and click on the bell to sign up for live updates for every new release every single Friday. Be the first to know and stay in the know. Today's video is all about post-travel. So if you've been traveling on a flight for a super long time, maybe feeling jet lagged, traveled across the country, you might feel achy and tight and your body is screaming to be moved, this is the video for you. So you might feel this mostly in your back, in your hips, and your legs. And that's because you were sitting a lot for a long time, especially if you're traveling across the country or to another country. So these poses are super helpful to do as soon as you get off the plane and get into your resort, your hotel, or wherever you might be staying, even if you're arriving back at home. Super quick flow, about maybe 10 minutes. And these poses you can hold for as long as you need to, but we'll go through them for a few breaths just so you're introduced to them. So we'll go ahead and start standing actually. And the reason we're starting standing is because you have probably been sitting for a very long time. So we want to just go ahead and get some movement, get the blood flowing into our body. Just shake out the arms, shake out the legs, maybe take some bounces. Just invite awareness into the body. Maybe take some gentle twists in the hips. And again, just to begin the blood flow into the body here. And we'll find stillness as you feel ready. Bring the feet about hip width distance here. And bring the arms overhead. Relax the shoulders down back. Grip the right wrist with the left thumb and index finger. As you inhale, lift your right arm higher to the sky, but keep the right shoulder relaxed. And as you exhale, lean your right arm over to the left side. Take a nice full body stretch here. And if you want to take this a little further, begin to cross your right foot over and behind your left. Straighten out the right leg. Left knee stays bent. Can you keep your right hip in line with your left? So your right hip might want to twist back here, but try to bring it forward. Keep that alignment as you maintain the pose. And this might feel really, really good. And this is a pose that we do unconsciously first thing in the morning, or maybe even after we get off of a flight. And we'll slowly begin to come back to center. Lower the arms down, bring the right foot back in place. Take it on the other side. Bring the left arm high, right arm follows, left wrist, right thumb, and index finger. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to deepen. You might feel some popping sensations in the body, and that is good. Left foot crosses over and behind the right if you wish. Keep the left hip in line with the right here, and maybe you lean over a little further. And take another few breaths here. Maybe as you exhale, you continue to lean over towards the right side, creating more space in the side body. And slowly begin to come back to stillness. Arms are high, feet are back in place, and lower the arms down by your side. Nice. So the other standing pose that we'll do is called triangle pose. You may or may not be familiar with that. So this is going to get into the hips, the side body, and the low back. So a lot is going on here. So we'll start on the right side. So your left toes are face forward. Bring your right foot a little more than hip width distance. You don't have to have a big stance here. And your right toes are going to face off to the right side. So left toes, right toes, essentially. So reach your right arm forward as you send your hips back. So they're going in the opposite direction here. And lower your right hand onto your shin, or you can lower it even lower to the ground or a block if you have one. Left arm reaches high to the sky. And I'll show you if you have a block what that looks like here. So So I like to bring it at the tallest height because I have shorter arms and a shorter torso. So bringing my hand all the way to the ground does cause me to round out through the left corner of my back sometimes, which we don't want. So you want to keep your upper body nice and open. So you might find yourself here with the back slightly curved. So imagine stacking your left shoulder over your right shoulder, and you'll immediately feel more of an opening in your chest. And gaze up to your fingertips to assist further with that alignment. And press through the ninth edge of your left foot to encourage even more deepening in the left side body. Take another breath here. Beautiful. And begin to bend into the right knee and make your way up here. And we're just gonna come on the other side. So point your right toes forward, left toes point out. Begin to send your left arm forward. Your hips go back in the opposite direction. I'm gonna do this side without a block. That way you can see what that looks like. So left hand down, right arm high. And the reason I don't say you need a block for this is because you're traveling. So you may not have a yoga block handy. I'm just giving you options in case you're traveling back home and decide to do this practice. So another thing to note here is it's nice to take a micro bend in the diagonal leg. So in this case, the left leg. So this might feel like a lot of pressure in the knee and in the hamstring. And especially if you've been traveling, that might not feel so good. So take a micro bend in that knee, and that should alleviate some of that. And also know that we don't want to rest our forearm onto our leg because that is entering into a different kind of pose, and that can take away from it, from the activation in the low body and in the hips. So you want to be sure that if your hand, the back of your hand isn't pressed against your shin, that maybe you are lowering your hand onto the ground or onto some sort of prop. And we'll slowly begin to rise, come back to center, and bring the legs together. Maybe you shake out. And now come off to the side for this one. So inhale to bring the arms back high overhead. And as you exhale, twist towards the right. Your right arm goes long behind, left arm is long in front. Same idea with the hips here. Your right hip might want to go back with your left, and that can take away from the stretch because at that point you're twisting from your hips. But you want to be twisting from your back. So try to bring the right hip forward and the left hip back while still maintaining the twist. And maybe you gaze past your right thumb. Beautiful. And inhale to come back to center, arms reach high, and exhale to twist towards the left side this time. And your gaze can be forward or again gazing past the left thumb, twisting through the cervical spine here, the neck. This might feel really good as well. Take another big breath. And inhale to come back to center. And as you exhale, bring the palms to heart as you fold forward at the waist. And allow the head to just hang heavy here. And as you inhale, lift halfway. Allow your palms to rest onto your shins or onto the thighs. Avoid the knees. And as you exhale, fold forward again. Feel this moment of release here. This might feel really, really good. We'll even make it feel better. So bring the feet hip width distance. Take a very generous bend in both knees. Allow your belly to drape over your thighs. Your head is hanging heavy, almost like we're in our forward fold, but allow your hands to grip opposite elbows. So we're in ragdoll pose. And it might feel good to sway from side to side, or maybe take little bounces back and forth. Again, you should feel this release in the back. Feel a stretch in the backs of the legs. And we'll make our way into the center. And begin to allow your arms to just dangle freely here, okay? And press your palms into the earth in front of you. Step one foot back and then the other. Downward facing dog here. So we'll pedal our feet in place. Lift one heel and then the other. Shake your head yes, nod it no. Release tension in that area. Be sure to press your chest to your thighs. This will really stretch out your back and your shoulders. We'll take another couple of breaths here. Maybe you want to take these next couple of breaths in stillness. That might feel really good. I always like to find movement in my down dog, especially in the legs, the calf muscles. And begin to completely be in stillness if you're not there. And lower softly onto the knees. We meet in tabletop pose. So your palms are pressed firm, fingers wide spread, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Moving into cat-cow. Inhale to send the tailbone high, drop the belly low, open through the heart, gaze is up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone forward, draw the navel into the spine, round out through the upper back, chin into the chest. And 2 more times on each side. Inhale. Tailbone high, belly low. And exhale, tuck to round. Pressing really firm into the mat. Last time here. As you inhale, move the spine like a snake, 1 vertebra at a time, and exhale to round. Beautiful. And we meet in a neutral spine here, tabletop pose. Begin to press into the palms, send the hips high, back into our downward facing dog. And the final pose we'll do here is called legs up the wall pose. In yin yoga, it's referred to as waterfall pose. So if you have a wall nearby, wherever you are, which I hope you do, go ahead and you can start by bringing one hip close to the wall, almost like it's touching the wall. And I'll move the block off to the side. Roll over onto the back and begin to extend the legs up the wall. And it's important to note that you do not necessarily need a wall to do this. So you can also just imagine there's a wall and just keep the legs up. But since you've been traveling, I always suggest with this pose to hold this for a while. So if you've been standing all day or traveling, sitting all day for like a good chunk of the day, and you weren't given the opportunity to move your body, move your legs, and allow the blood to flow, then it is so important to do this pose for, if you have 5 to 10 minutes, if not longer. And you will immediately feel relief. And this can be potential relief from inflammation in the feet or the legs, any swollen feet or legs. So this is a super great pose to do after travel. So I'm going to put my legs back up on the wall here. And know that you technically don't need a block for this, but it is helpful if you don't have a wall and you can put the block directly under your tailbone. And that just provides you more openness in the hips and more support with keeping the legs extended. So this pose is essentially, I like to think of as rebellious, because it's going against the flow of gravity. So your blood is given the opportunity to flow in the opposite direction, down your legs, towards your heart, flushing out the veins, flushing out for new blood, and that is why you're able to see reduced inflammation and swelling in the feet and the ankles, the legs, wherever you might be experiencing it. So again, we won't hold here for too much longer. However, please stay as long as you feel is necessary. And we'll go ahead and bring our legs down, slide our upper body over to the side like a little worm, and just roll over onto the side body, press your palm, and we'll roll back up into a seated or kneeling position. So I hope those poses were helpful for you. This is a super easy flow to do. Again, once you've reached your final destination from traveling, or even in between flights, depending on how long they are, You don't need a lot of space. You don't need a wall or a block. All you need is you. So I hope you have safe travels, or had safe travels, and save this video for any time you need to refer to it in the future for future travels. If you liked what you saw today, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to receive live updates from every Friday when new videos are released. If you have any questions, comments, or special requests for future videos, go ahead and drop it in the comments. And know that with my Business Connect Yoga, I also offer weekly virtual sessions as well as private one-on-one and group sessions for any of your needs. So check out the website below, and I'll see you next Friday.